Okay, people, hello to everyone on the internet. This is a surprise live stream. Now, of course, if you're watching this on demand, then this wouldn't really apply to you. But for everyone jumping in, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me in this very unexpected stream. I probably should have planned this a lot earlier, but as with many live streams, when you have a good idea, you roll with it. So, we'll give some time for everyone to float into chat. I'm pretty surprised that it actually works. I mean, what we started live streaming probably a year ago. When was my first live stream? If anyone's like on chat right now, that's a surprising amount of people. Can someone tell me when I first started doing live streaming? All right, so it was one of the Q and A's because all the Q and A's used to be live streams. All the Q and A's used to be prepared questions, and then moved to a live stream format. And they've done some live streams since then. So I'm kind of curious when to start live streaming. But it's always amazing to see who's actually up at this time. It is 12 midnight here. I know Zip, you don't sleep much anymore, so fair enough. But I know the rest of you around the world are probably like what afternoon somewhere in Europe. I think morning somewhere in America. I can never remember what time it is where you are. But we have a special feature today. Now, originally this was gonna be a short stream, but I've got a few different things lined up. But for those who've clicked in, you've probably already recognized what the topic is. We're going to do a bit of a retrospective. I actually plan on doing a few of these in the coming week or so. The reason why is I know many of you have been paying attention. Me, not so much. I have been paying attention, but as you've probably seen, the subscriber count is very close to 100,000, and that's pretty cool. By the way, check out some of these secret videos coming up soon. Not out yet, but that sub count is pretty cool. Now, according to Social Blade, it should be 100,000 in mid-February. So, we got a month ago. That is pretty cool. Unless I somehow get like 1,000 subs in 2 days, it's on track to be 100,000, and that's a pretty cool milestone. For me, at least, it feels like endgame. I didn't really think I would grow a YouTube channel, and this is kind of why I'm doing this retrospective live stream series, just to look at where it all started and how things changed through my YouTube career. And yeah, like I started the whole YouTube thing as a bit of a social experiment. In fact, there's a deeper reason behind that. But like for me as a teacher, I'm obviously around a lot of kids who, even today still want to do YouTube channels. I mean, nowadays kids are like, Instagram models, so they want to see how many followers they get. A lot of the boys into like streamers, so they want to do Twitch streaming, and some people still want to do YouTube. But the idea of getting lots of followers, subscribers, it's a big thing for young people. I mean, back when I was in school, we didn't have social media, so kids today are very driven by social media, and the fact that their own teacher already has a YouTube channel and trying to get that silver play button, it's a milestone for me, and realistically, that's all I would expect at this level. I doubt I'll get a million. Let's put it that way. Even a few 100,000, that's doubtful. 100,000 is probably the end game, and then I'll probably do something else afterwards. Not saying this is my last video. I'll be definitely doing more videos in the future, but that's kind of like the harder grind. And now it's like, well, I'm successful. I don't care what people say about being jealous of other people or bigger channels. I've made the 100K, and therefore I've reached the end game for YouTubing. At least for me, anyway. I've been through a lot of the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations. So yeah, what we're doing in this stream is going back to where it all started. I'll be doing several of the streams covering different elements of my YouTube channel, and looking at different things I've done, what worked, what didn't work. I am planning on doing a video on tips for YouTube creators, or especially people making archery channels today, like this year. A lot of people are going to be starting YouTube channels. So I'll be giving some advice on that. But this is how I started. So let's flip over a bit. So now let me tell you a story. So uh, I had planned on doing YouTube for a long time, but not for the reason why you think it was. So this by the way is the feature presentation. So this is the prelude. So now this was probably 9 or 10 years ago. So by we, I mean my then partner. We separated a long time ago, but my then partner and I were into YouTube, and one of the people that we watched a lot of was someone called Nat Tran or Natalie Tran, who runs the community channel, YouTube channel. It was one of the biggest blog channels. So this is when like blogging was like really big on YouTube. Let me just grab. I mean, if you probably hear what I'm talking about, but community channel was what we enjoyed watching. So if we, whoops, sorry, flip over to here. This is her current page. I mean, she reached out like a million, like around 4 years ago. So she's an Australian or Asian Australian, and she did and does a lot of blogs. And this was how we kind of started looking at YouTube as a thing because, she did a lot of blogs about being Asian and growing up Asian Australian. She actually she's a bit of a role model in the Australian YouTube community. So there's a lot going on, but my partner and I love Nat Tran. My partner more so than me, but we were inspired by Nat Tran to think about doing YouTube. So we bought a camera. In fact, but the camera I used is actually still here. I replaced my camera last year. Sorry, 2 years ago. It's 2019 now, because this one broke. But this is the camera that we first bought, and we bought this for like $1,200 or something. It's a quite expensive camera back then. Remember, this is like 10 years ago. So we bought this camera almost spontaneously, with the idea of making YouTube videos. We'd probably do things like blogging, maybe gaming, but basically we'd be doing blogging like Nat Tran community channel. What a strange origin story, right? I mean, like this is one of the biggest archery channels talking about blogging community channels. But we originally wanted to do this. Now, fast forward, we separated. So the idea of doing a YouTube channel didn't exist. I'm not sure what she's doing right now. Not that I really care. But we obviously didn't make it happen. So I have the camera, okay, and we haven't made a YouTube video yet. And we'll talk about my YouTube, my first YouTube video. We'll talk about a different time because it wasn't archery, by the way. In fact, yeah, no, my first videos were not for YouTube. So I filmed this and I put it on Facebook because that's why I started. This is before Facebook video and Facebook pages were a really big thing. Nowadays, you can't stop watching YouTube videos; like it just automatically plays when you scroll up. But back then, it was YouTube or Facebook, and back then actually had Facebook friends. Nowadays, as with many people, we streamline, we call, we remove people. So I've got a much smaller Facebook page, not my official one, but my personal one. In fact, for a while, my personal page was linked to my official page, but not anymore. But my first videos were of my bow, and you won't find this. I didn't make any videos with her, by the way, Maddie. So the idea was there. We didn't make it happen before we separated, so there's no videos together. I've seen one video that she made. It was back when we were together. It was a really adorable video. Well, what kind of alternate reality is this? Well, it was a really cute video. Very girly. Okay, so I'm the manly man. She's the girly girl. One of the funny things that we did. Do I still have a photo of this? Because this was meant to be a topic that we're going to cover. Let me try and find it because this is like the funniest photo from like 10 years ago when we were together. Oh man, I have like I don't update anything on my personal Facebook page anymore. But there was a funny photo of stuff. Hang on, is this the one? Man, this is digging really. Whoa, I'm going too far back now. Where is that photo? Because we went shopping one day. We actually went. Oh wow, that's really retro stuff. I'll show this to you a bit later. I'm trying to find the one photo, which was really funny. And having said that, it's probably not gonna be fun anymore because I can't find it. Yeah, I can't search for it, can I? I doubt I'll find it. What the photo was, if I can find it, because we went shopping, I think at Chadston, and we both did like girl shopping and guy shopping, okay? So what we bought was Napoleon. I really need this photo. I will try to find this. Oh, it might be on her page. Let's not go there. But I'll share the story with you, right? So we were going shopping while I'm trying to find the photo. So we were going shopping and we both bought stuff. So I bought games and she bought makeup. And you can probably see where this is going. So girls watching this, you can probably imagine why I'm explaining this. Guys, you might need a bit more background. So we went shopping. Do I have the photo? I'm still scrolling through watching this just in case. Because this is like years of history in the back here. No, it's a PC designs. So the story was that we bought stuff, and I took off photos because it's really funny. So in women's makeup, there's a brand called Napoleon, right? And she bought like boxes of Napoleon. And when I walked out, I also bought a box of Napoleon. It was Napoleon Total War. That was the game that came out just then. So I bought Napoleon Total War. She bought Napoleon makeup, and we took the photo side by side together. So that was kind of a cute idea. I can't find the photo. It's probably here somewhere, but I'm not gonna bother looking for it. But yeah. So I sidetracked a lot there. Um, what happened there? So yeah, we didn't do any videos together. So back on track. So I have the camera, and or I rather, it's no more we anymore. So I had the camera, so I'm filming stuff, and so I am. This is 8 years ago. I started doing archery. Now I have no photos of me doing archery at the time. This was like way before modern technology. Back when I was like in the 1980s or something. No, so I didn't bother taking photos of myself doing archery. But the way we started doing archery was there was myself and two friends. So there were three of us from high school. So we were high school friends. And this is after we started working. So we were busy. But now we've separated. So we don't talk to each other anymore. But we were all friends and we all decided to do archery together. And you'll see them in one of the videos later on. Because we've all done very weird things ever since. So the three of us, we did archery, and two of us got our bows quicker. I took like 2 months to buy my bow. They took a lot less time. So the one bought a bow and another one bought a bow. Then I was the last one to buy a bow. So I took a lot longer to buy my first bow. So my bow arrived, and this was when unboxing videos were like the thing. So what did I do? I used my, this was a good camera. This was a HD camera. I didn't film a HD back then, but this was a HD camera. So I used this camera, and I filmed my first unboxing video. And this was never on YouTube. And what you'll be seeing here is I guess a premiere of my very first bow. Imagine me, I was 8 years younger, looking at this, and it's cringy because as if all young people trying to do YouTube, trying to be cool. I haven't seen this for a long time, but I don't even have the video file anymore. This is back when I was doing like Windows Movie Maker crap, and I don't know where the files are, but they're still on Facebook, so the internet doesn't forget. So we're gonna watch my first few videos together. So again, this is not on my YouTube or my Facebook page. This is my personal Facebook page. Some different things here, but this is where it all began. This is where NUSensei, before, this is before NUSensei was a thing, way before that. So we're gonna watch the unboxing of my first bow. For those who've made it this far, this is the premiere feature. So this is going to be cringy. I hope that the volume is balancing up because I've got the desktop audio on, and wow, man, this is from 8 years ago. No, 8.5 years ago. All right. Now, when did I upload this? There should be a date here, right? About 7 years ago. Really? Yeah, it's probably 7.5, 7 3/4. I've done archery about 8 in a few years now, so this is about that time. You can see the stuff here, right? This is from Pat's Archery, in South Australia, which I still buy from. Took like 2 days to arrive, so ordered on Friday, came on Monday, so it was really fast shipping. So without further ado, let's watch this together. Actually, what I might do, I might turn off the desktop audio because I have the headphones on. I'll just play the headphones. You can probably hear this on the headphones. Let me switch off that audio. You'll probably hear this just fine through my headphone speakers. Now, most of you know I've been doing archery for the past 10 or so weeks, and I've recently procured my first set of archery equipment. Now, this was meant to be an unboxing video, but as you can see, I've already unboxed it. So I do apologize if you are waiting for the excitement of me slicing open all these boxes and taking things out, but I've already done that. Wow, I suck. I've unboxed something which I've unboxed. Oh wow, that's funny as. Gee, it's funny. It's funny now because I have an audience of 0. Like this is my personal my Facebook page, so I have like 10 friends or something. So there's really nothing here that's actually I'm talking to like a non-existent audience. I make fun of people who like do this whole "Hey guys," when they have 0 followers, and this is what I was doing back then. But here we go. Let's look at that. We'll keep on going. All right. Nonetheless, for those who were curious as to what I was actually getting, I'm going to show you each of these pieces one by one and probably explain what they do in as simple terms as possible. All right. First, we have the riser,
Well,
or
the
the
transition.
handle of the bow. This is a Samick Agua. It's a 25-inch magnesium right-handed riser, which means you hold it with your left hand and you draw the string with your right, like that. It's red. I actually wanted blue, but they gave me a red one for fast delivery, which works fine with me. And red, as you know, makes things go faster, which is fantastic. Now, the riser comes pretty plain, but there are points, as you can see on this side, where you can attach various accessories. I've already attached a plunger button, which is the cartel one, as well as the cartel magnetic rest.
By the way, like you might have never seen me hold this bow. I no longer have this. This was sold to someone at the club called Lucas. He moved to Sydney and shot the Sydney University Archery Club. So this original NUSensei bow is still out there somewhere. I don't have it. You will see this in some older videos on YouTube. But this was long gone.
Cool. Pretty heavy.
It might be worth something now. Now that's like a new sensei bow, but yeah, back then it was like crap, just sold right away.
I'm not used to holding metallic bows, but otherwise it's pretty solid and probably my favorite part of the package so far. Alright, over here we have the limbs. Now these look like skis, but they're not. For those of us who aren't familiar with takedown bows, it's not a one piece. These bows come in several pieces, which you can put together and take apart, hence takedown bow. These are limbs which attach to the riser like such, which I'll demonstrate later. These are fiberglass limbs with wood core, weighted at 34 pounds at 28 inches. Although my draw length isn't quite that long apparently, so they're not quite 34 pounds. Over here we have the Dacron string, which is the fairly typical bow string. And you need a bow string to attach it onto the bow, which again I'll demonstrate a bit later. Over here we've got the long rod stabilizer. This is from Cartel. Let's try it again. This is from Cartel. This goes to the front of the bow to stabilize it, obviously, and add a bit of weight to counteract some of the force you pull back. The force you generate when you pull back on the string. Also comes with a quiver. This is a fixed quiver, pretty generic, nothing too great about it, but it carries arrows, which is the main purpose. Onto 12 arrows. These are Eastern Jazz 1916 ones, which probably aren't made for my bow, but are pretty solid beginner arrows, as you can see. They're very pointy and pretty long, with some color-coded veins, which is really, really useful. Alright, now some of the accessories that came with the bow. This is the arm guard. It's a Vivek Soma. Nice, soft leather, protects your arm quite well, feels quite good, not too restricting. Over here we've got the finger tab. Again, Vivek's, quite solid. It's right-handed, which obviously is not this hand. Fits quite well, nice, solid grip, and protects your fingers quite nicely from the
friction of the bowstring. Over here we have a what's called a clicker. This is again cartel. I haven't actually used it yet. This goes to the front of your bow, kind of let you know the right point of release. So that's something I look forward to using probably next week. And over here is a pretty nice gadget. This is the cartel case sight, which I have absolutely no idea how to use or install. So I'll be asking later on. But this goes again at the front of the bow.
Sorry, I'm gonna pause. Oh my god, that's oh my god. I just say that. I just- oh my goodness, like this is back in the day. I didn't know how to put on a sight. That's how old this is, right? now we're doing like tuning videos and stuff all the time. So wow, like I literally didn't know how to put on the sight, like how to screw it on, how to mount it on. This is back when I was like doing so many like this is so new to me. And this is what I still get right. So like many of you starting archery are probably doing the same sort of thing, right? So you unbox it. What the hell is this thing? How do you put it on? I know that's why people search my videos. So like, how do I stick on the clicker? A question there was why clicker? My coach wanted to verify what I was getting, so he recommended clicker right away. I think I made a mistake in my old in a recent video where I said I waited for like a few months before I bought the clicker. I was mistaken. I should put the clicker at the same time as everything else. I didn't use it right away, but the coach made me buy the clicker. So good coaching, all right. So he was very upfront about the clicker usage. But there we go. We actually have the unboxing video. There's more to it, by the way. We'll watch more videos. But wow, I actually said I can't put on a site. Oh my goodness.
And that's pretty much what an aiming sight does. Alright, over here we have a box of various tools such as Allen keys, screws, nuts and bolts.
I was wondering what it was actually, because I was watching before thinking, hang on, no bow comes with this box anymore. So yeah, it's basically your Allen keys. Every bow comes with a set of tools if you need to assemble it. Normally in a plastic Ziploc bag, but back then it's like
which
box.
you can of course use on the rods and other parts of the bow to make the fine adjustments. And lastly, if you have the bowstring, which is used to help brace the bow so you can attach the string without warping and damaging the limbs. This is quite easy to use. Unfortunately, I'm a noob, so it took me an hour to figure out how to do it correctly. And even so, I can't do it myself and need someone else to help me.
And that's why I made a video how to string a bow, right? Because people don't know how to use these things.
So, alright, now we'll show you a fully strung version of the bow, just to show you what it looks like. To save me the embarrassment of using this thing, I'm going to snap my fingers, and it should be done now.
Ooh.
Aha! It's done. That was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be, but you didn't see that, so that's okay. This is what the boat looks like when it's fully strung, as well as if the long rod stabilizer attached. I haven't attached the case sight, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to use it yet, so just want to show you what the boat looks like. That's fully strung and ready to shoot. Touch. So that's basically all I wanted to show you. It's not the best bow in the market, but it's pretty good for a beginner bow. I've only had a few shots of it myself, but I would say it definitely feels very nice. I still need to buy a few more accessories, such as a stand and probably a bag that would be quite handy.
Oh my god, I didn't buy a bag with this. It's like every set now comes with like all these things, but a bow package actually lacked some of these really basic things like a bow case or a bow stand. I actually didn't have that.
But that's the setup which I'm hopefully using for next few months, years, or millennia.
About 8 months, by the way.
That's all from me. Hope you enjoyed this short unboxing video, and probably see you all next time. Ooh, what's this? Ooh.
Yep. Oh my god, I actually played piano back then. I still do, by the way. I recently cleaned it up, but yeah, you might see some of that a bit later. But there we go. That's the first bow. That's the Samek Aguilar. Wow. And up to this point, like I don't think anyone's seen me shoot it, right? Like I've held the bow. I mean, I've used the bow as a demonstration in my early videos, because it was when I started making YouTube videos like the ones you see now with the old camera, not the new one. But back when I made those videos, I already had the Win and Win. So I bought the Win and Win NUSensei,
within 6 months to 8 months. So I did a long period where I did nothing but shoot it. Um, I never filmed myself shooting the Agala, as far as I know. All right, as far as I know. So I've done I don't think I've shot this on camera before. So I actually have you see before some of the footage, which we'll show later, of me actually shooting it. Back when I was a noob. So let's go through some of the other videos. And you're right, by the way. Like, this isn't as cringe as what I thought. Right? Like, this is not like Lemon Genesis cringe. This isn't too bad. I think I did a lot more reading and research then I probably, I mean, probably most beginners wouldn't have this amount of reading and research. There wasn't much out there, and this is why I started the channel. I googled what I could, like how to buy a bow, what to look for, recommended brands, and the Samick Agala was recommended like 5 years before like I made the video, so it was already an old bow. There are already like much better bows in the market, like the Win bows and the Hoyt bows, the current line. Back then it was the Iron X or the NUSensei. Those were the top bows at the time. So I made a very outdated choice, and part of the reason why I make videos today is to educate people on what you are buying. So that was the first video. So let's go through a few more. There's like a few more me shooting. Nothing here is relevant now, but this is the second unboxing video. Let's check this out.
Hi guys. Now I had planned to go for a practice shoot today, except there is a thunderstorm outside. So instead of shooting, I'm going to go through this. A few days ago, I ordered some more archery stuff from abiarchery.com.au. A very fast delivery, just arrived today. Now I did receive some complaints that my last unboxing video didn't contain any actual unboxing. So to rectify that, I'm going to unbox this live. Alright, here we go. What I like about abiarchery is how pragmatic they are with the packaging. Now, you might think, oh, this is a pretty standard postage box. It's not. It's actually a compound bow box that's been cut open and turned inside out. And what they'll do, instead of having like 10 different packages for every part you order, they'll stuff everything into one box. Now, inside is a bow case. Now, this is a Cartel 702, whatever it is, case. Very nice case, 809mm long. It's actually the same as, well, my bow case, but this is for me, this is for someone else. And I have noticed, in a rather cool way, it's a different color. It's blue. I like blue.
I'm a genius.
Maybe we can swap it around and no one notice. Anyway, so it's got a obviously.
By the way, I did swap it around. That was I bought the case separately from Abby. Between these two, my friend Levi, who you see later in the video, he wanted a case for himself, so I bought this for him. But I actually liked the blue more than the black, so I gave him the black one. I kept the blue for myself. I gave the blue one away to Lucas as part of the package because he bought the riser and the quiver and stuff. No, the quiver I gave to somebody else. The limbs I sold separately. The last part of the bow which I had were the limbs. I had them for a long time before I sold them to someone at the club. But yeah, I gave everything away piece by piece. The only thing that's in the club now is my stabilizer. The Cartel stabilizer actually has a funny story behind that, but we'll get to it later. Let's keep on watching.
Plastic, got two nice pouches at the front, as well as a very nice long interior, which I'll show a bit later. I'm gonna cut this open because this is for me, this is for my friends. But what will be interesting is the stuff that's inside. It is for me. Whoops. Okay. So we'll take it out. That's what it looks like.
I can't let the volume a bit.
Very popular Korean brand. And let's see some stuff inside. Alright, so here we go. We've got, like I said before, two large pockets. One here and one here. These are empty, obviously.
And the main inside part, which looks like this, it's got a nice thing here, which
Hey, look, it's total archery.
Something. It does have some nice elastic bands, which can hold your gear, so your risers or your limbs. And of course, the stuff inside here is actually mine. So, like I said, Abbey Archery is very practical. To stuff everything into one bag. So instead of having it, like I said before, 10 different boxes or bags, they'll put everything in the bag, wrap it up, and then put it in a used box.
Which is what every shop does, by the way. I didn't know this, but that's pretty normal.
So it's pretty handy. This is my stuff. Now I've ordered a new finger tab, ultralight Elite from Cavalier. Looks like this. It's a medium size. Now last time I bought one, which came in my pack, it looked like this. Okay, it's been used quite well. It's a bit too, this is a large, I think, so it's too large for me. I've worn it out. As you can see, the leather has probably seen better days. I didn't really like the finger separators, which are these really flimsy things. Each time I tried to hold the bow and arrow, it would kind of like wrap around it, and it was really clumsy to use. Secondly, the plastic buckle here, which ties into the finger strap, it's broken. I broke it, so I have nowhere to tighten it, and therefore every time I shot an arrow, it would fly off and go poof like that.
Which is, by the way, why I made my very first archery video. For those who have joined the channel like recently, you might not have gone all the way back, but my very first video was comparing finger tabs, or finger tabs, what's the difference. That was the very first video, not the beginner videos. It's a finger tab video, and the reason why I made that was because I wanted to tell people the differences, or show people the differences between different tabs. So I bought quite a few tabs between now and that, or then this video and the first YouTube video, but that's why I bought it. I bought a lot of tabs between my first few months of shooting.
Should be a lot better. I've seen my friends use these. It's made from, I quote, space age materials and leather. Or something. So I'm gonna unbox this a bit later and have a go myself, but that's one of the first things there. I do have next a V-bar. Now this goes into the front of the bow, and you use this to attach the long rod stabilizer, which I'll take out again a bit later, as well as a couple of these. Now these are side rods. These are 10-inch cartel ones, same as my long rod, so they're much shorter. And there are two of these, 1 and 2, and they go on the sides of the bow, which I'll set a bit later just to show you. And they're meant to balance out the forces in the bow. The last thing I ordered, or actually now, second last thing, arrow rest. Now apparently the one I bought before, a very relatively expensive one, wasn't very good. These are really cheap $5 plastic rests. But apparently these are a bit better than what you can get for more expensive prices. They won't last very long, probably a month or two before they break, but they're quite reliable, apart from breaking every month.
Alright, so this I want to clarify to past me. This is like proto NUSensei. The super rest will last a long time. Like you can go like 10,000 shots through a super rest. Sometimes they can split. If you're not careful, you don't expect it. But the reason why I bought this over the other one, my prior rest, I'm not sure if it's in the video, but the other rest I had was a cartel expert rest or something like that. My coach hated it. Now, my coach hates all kinds of magnetic rests because he comes from an era of Hoyt super rests. The Hoyt super rest in the 1980s was the best rest. Every top shooter had a plastic rest. So, and there still are very good rests for beginners. Like in the Rio Olympic Games, there were like 3 archers who still use Hoyt Super Rest, and nowadays everyone uses like Shibuya. But the Hoyt Super Rest was a standard for the 1980s. It still works exceptionally well today. Just because it's a lot more affordable to get the better rest now, it's more adjustable. More people will have them. But my coach always pushed people to get the stick-on rest. And he had an explanation why, and this is kind of again why I made videos. I didn't actually agree with his explanation, and it goes against what most coaches now consider to be good equipment. In fairness, he came from his perspective, from his experience of like 40 years of archery,
up to when it was last active in 1980s and 90s. So he's working with what was good for him at the time, not what was in the market now. And I realized in the first couple of years of my archery career that there was this kind of a gap between what he knew from his equipment, which hadn't changed. He shot compound ever since, but he hadn't shot anything in the 1990s or 2000s, or 2000s at least, not 1990s. So he didn't really know the current market, the current equipment. So that's kind of why now that I know better, I'm trying to share this knowledge with you. So NUSensei. I'll use Carson's nickname. NUSensei. You're not right here. Actually, these rests, these Hoyt Super rests, are actually very good. You should always carry some of these in your pack as an emergency rest in case your better one breaks or something. Because this is very reliable. Anyway, let's keep on going.
And they're pretty simple to attach, so that's something I'll put in my bow a bit later. And the last thing is bedside reading. Okay, this is Tattoo Archery by Kisik Lee. Kisik Lee is a Korean-born archer who trained the Australian team in the Olympics. So it's got some nice stuff. I haven't actually read it, obviously, so we'll be looking forward to going through this over the next few days. So that's basically what I got, and again, this isn't for me, the bag is for a friend, the rest of the stuff is mine, including that. And that's my latest purchase. Again, abbeyarchery.com.au, very reliable site, definitely my go-to place for archery supplies. And I'll be putting some stuff together in a moment, so I'll catch you in a bit. Alright, so firstly, the finger tab. I just had a bit of a go at it, so I just put on the string back, and it feels good. It feels really good. The plastic bit to be getting used to, it's meant to help you find your anchor point, but it helps you get the correct grip on the string.
By the way, still is a very good finger tab. You can still buy this, I believe. This is the AAE Cavalier. Very good finger tab.
Well, the leather facing is really smooth. It's not thick, very thick. So one problem I had with my other tab, this one, was while the leather had multiple layers, and as you can see, it's kind of floppy. The leather's actually very soft. And the problem with that is when you pull back on the string, especially a very heavy one, it bites into the leather, and that's probably why it started to come apart here. So this is pretty useless now. Secondly, it's got lots of finger flaps. The first two make sense. That's the finger separator. That's the index finger. That's the middle finger, the bottom in the middle there. But the last one's a bit unnecessary. So when releasing the string, it feels a bit awkward. Kind of spoils the shot a bit. Whereas this one, obviously, it's much simpler in design in some cases. It's got two layers. It's got a nice backing, soft leather backing, as well as this really cool material, which is nice and thick. Now, when I field test this, I'll see how resilient it is. But from what I've heard, it's a pretty good finger tab. It's made from. Okay, get this. I didn't see this before. It's made from super leather. Okay, super leather. So the ultralight elite tab is made with a popular super leather face. This material is impregnated with a waterproofing to help the face stay consistent in all weather conditions, like thunderstorms, which I'm not going to try. So that's the finger tab. It has a nice one of these knob adjusters, which are really good. Again, this one was really awkward. It had this buckle, which again, it's plastic. It breaks so easy. I don't know why they did this, but just really hard to adjust once you put it on. It would come loose very easily, and it's just a pain to use. So I'm actually glad I broke this, because now this seems to be much more usable and user-friendly. So look forward to trying it out next time we go down the range. Alright, so that's the bow.
And as you can see, I've learned how to put the sight on, so whoa, I've advanced.
Everything attached. That's the V-bar here. Probably can't see it. That's V-bar.
And the bow stand too is over there.
The sidebars, both of them, left and right of the bow, as well as the alarm rod stabilizer at the front. So all in all, it looks pretty cool. That's the sight, which I've touched that I'm using already. Has up, down, left, right adjustments, as well as my clicker, which you can't really see. So that's basically the whole setup needed. There are some other things you get, like wall stabilizers and vibration dampeners, but that's kind of on the higher end, which I'll get later on when I need to. This is basically the setup you need for target
Yeah, using a real bow.
Basically it. Thanks for watching this, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video.
Oh wait.
The book, by the way, works completely fine.
Oh, Noob Sensei, you're so clever. Oh my goodness. Not as cringe as I thought it would. By the way, something's never changed, right? If we grab I'll look at the background. Like I'll do a panning shot of the background. Hopefully this isn't black out, right? But some things don't change, right? Like a lot of things are very much where they were. What 8 years ago? Yeah. If you do like if you rewind by like 20 seconds, you'll see some of the camera view. There you go. You'll see that a lot of things in the background haven't changed that much. I don't film in this room anymore because it's not a good room for filming. There's no like natural light. But some things never change. But there we go. You can probably do a before and after view there. So, where were we? So that was the second video. There's more actually. Let's actually see me shoot this bow. So, we did some filming out in the field. Let's have a look. Alright, so we'll go to this one. Hey, what the hell? No, I actually put dates on this. Windows Movie Maker. Archery shoot November 1st, 2011. So this is me using my Samick Agla. Oh, you can't see me, but I'm actually here. So I'm right there in the middle. So this is Levi. We were high school friends. We've kind of separated since. But he and Andy, there were the three of us. You'll see Andy later. So the three of us got into archery together. It was his idea, or it was Andy's idea, but it was their idea to drag me out to the range here. And this is where my club is now. So this is before I was club president and coach, way before that. So what Levi's using is an SF Premium. And get this, he's using 40-pound Samick Agla limbs. I've got the Agla riser, so in theory, I could grab those limbs, put on my riser to make a complete set, and maybe get like a set bonus or something, Diablo style. But he shot the SF Premium. The funny thing is, Levi he still shoots. He only shoots in his backyard by like 2 meters because he never learned archery. He started archery with me, but he dropped out very soon, and he still collects bows. But unlike what I do now, he doesn't train, so he does it for fun. He doesn't really do it seriously. But he was kind of the guy who got me into archery, and how things have changed since. But he was a trad guy who shot bare bow. I'm the modern guy who now shoots trad. So things have flipped. Wow, what an open stance that is. Something's loose there. It's probably one of the side rods. Ah, the premium. This is one of the only boats which I haven't reviewed from the SF line. Because I've done the Axiom, I've done the Forge Plus, but the premium was the mid-price one. That's not bad. Yeah, considering this is like, what, 2011? No, sorry, yeah, 2011. This is what my first year in archery, and this is my first kit. Nothing's tuned yet. Like the brace has too low, for example. That's not bad. Bit of a shoulder rotation there. This is a form check. This is a NUSensei form check. Gee, this guy, he has no idea what he's doing. His stance is too wide. His grip's too stiff. Shoulder's not rotated enough. Ah, the old club. Oh, the old target stance. You can see the old fence back there too before it fell down, and then we've got the trouble by council. I changed arrows. These are the Eastern Blues. It's the same thing as the Jazzers, just blue. because my first few arrows were too stiff, and then I bought a set of second arrows. This is why we recommend people don't buy your arrows right away if you don't need to. Buy them separately. If you have no arrows, then buy arrows. But very often, your first set of arrows won't match the arrows you actually need for your bow. So hold off on that. So that's the first few shots with the bow. That's interesting, isn't it? I'll show you an anecdote, right? So this is very early in my archery career. That's a pretty good follow through. I mean, that's not bad. Stance is quite wide, but that's a pretty strong anchor point. That's pretty strong, actually. I mean, I don't even do that these days. My follow through is quite limp. That's a pretty good control to follow through. This is a 34-pound bow as well. That's good. Well, the anecdote I'm gonna share is I asked my coach, like, we were talking to other people, and well, we were talking to other archers or other beginners, and he was like rating them out of 10, just for fun, and like he said, oh yeah, you're like a 5 out of 10 or something, and I asked him, so like, what would you rate me? And he looked at me and he said 4 out of 10, and I went, ouch. Oh, that's harsh. But he said, actually, no, I'm giving you a 4 out of 10 compared to a professional archer. And that was really uplifting for me. All right, because it was like for a beginner, probably got a 9 out of 10. But for an advanced archer, probably a 4 out of 10. And that was actually quite a motivational point because that was about what I thought I was. And the fact that it's so early in my career, that I is that you, Alpha, by the way? I'm skeptical of that name, Shauna. My coach told me very early on that you're a 5 out of 10. And for that was kind of like a good motivation to improve, because if I was a 4 out of 10 after like 8 months of practice, then there was definitely potential for me to become even better. So that's my first shot. Well, not my first shot, but very early on in my career. Let's flip to a later video. Oh, this is a beautiful one. So we go to this one over here. A sunset video. Oh, how's that? And unfortunately, there's no high definition this one, right? Wait, is there? Oh, there is. Oh wow, it's high definition. I didn't realize that. Whoops. This is like old Facebook. That's pretty stiff release. Come on, noob sensei, you can better than this. That's pretty nice, actually. That's cool. I didn't realize that was high definition, because these were 720p back then. I didn't use 1080. And I'm curious now. Was this also high def? Because it was blacked out. That's blacked out. Okay, fair enough. So I was a noob back then doing Facebook uploads. Also did a what's this? Hey, it's Mamishiba. Mamishiba. It's HD as well. Wow. Okay. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing here, but this is my desk back then. What's on my desk here? I've got the Napoleon Total War statuette. I've got a Mamishiba. This is not Adventure Time. This is Mamishiba. And yeah, so I just replaced my arrows here. So I mentioned before that I was using the Eastern Blues. So my coach, we were tuning the bow, the 1916 Eastern Jesuit 2 thick. I think these are 1815s. Just quick through. Basically, I was unboxing video.
This is probably my favorite tab design.
That's cool.
Where the arrow sits.
I got the new tab. So this is the Win and Win 360, which I still have. Yeah.
Clip where you can lift it like that, and you can adjust the length of the finger strap as you like. So when you're happy with it, you just lock it back down and it clamps in. It's at the front, right on the back. So on the back, there's nothing on the way of your finger here. So it's completely
completely smooth fit.
And that would lead on to my first video on YouTube. Wow, man, this is so old. This is like the third vlog I did. And this is Facebook. I have no audience on Facebook. This is just like 10 of my friends or something.
Now, some Cavalier I've either lost or
Yeah, the arrow puller. Yeah, like the reason why I made these because none of my friends had archery, right? So apart from those two guys, so this is kind of like I'm talking to people who have no idea what I'm doing. So that's why I made these videos. This is the last video for my current. It's not my no, that's Andy and Levi. So these are my two mates. These were the guys who got me to archery. Fun as with the high definition, just 720p. So that's the SF Premium. We're shooting at I think 50 meters. And we had no clubhouse back then. So this is Levi on the right. He's one of the SF Premium. And Andy was funny. Now, Andy has the Win Inno CXT. So he did what I would actually recommend to many people. Buy a very good riser and buy cheap limbs. Whereas Levi bought like the medium set, I bought the cheap set. So ironically, the person who bought the cheapest set did archery the longest. The person who bought the most expensive set quit archery first. I think eventually the Aikido. We've lost touch since, but he bought the really good win quiver, the really good one back then. He bought like really good quality stuff. We kind of laughed at him at the time, but it's actually really good advice to buy good gear. So he actually has good gear. It's such a waste, unfortunately, because he never used it after this. He used it a few times. That was all. Yeah, he didn't stick. He didn't stick with archery. I mean, he left first, and then he left, and then I'm the last one standing.
That doesn't sound nice.
You can tell we're all noobs. What was that, NUSensei? What was that follow through? Now, I can tell you why. My coach always pushed me to expand outwards. So this is an awkward motion, but my coach really wanted me to do this motion, which is why I still swing outwards today. But he really wanted to see the outswing run the in-swing. Most archers in-swing, but I'm an outswinger. Check out that clicker usage, huh? Then, in all honesty, like you can see, this is very early days. I think I was using a wrist sling, which I hated the wrist sling. I use a finger sling now, but that's a wrist sling back then. Yeah, these things you wouldn't do today. Like that grip. A lot of beginners do this grip. It's the right angle for the hand, but you wouldn't have these extended fingers. This is something you train out very early. I think I learned that very quickly afterwards. Yeah, like this is a very typical beginner mistake. You use the spear hand, which you actually don't want. There's too much tension in the hand, which induces torque in the bow. Otherwise, yeah, it's a bit fast for the clicker, but it's good clicker training. Like I said in a recent video, when you should use the clicker. I used the clicker nearly right away. As soon as I got my bow, the clicker was on the bow, and I was learning how to use it. So this is part of the practice and training routine. And this is like the same month as the first set of videos. So we're doing very early clicker training, and it's fast, yeah, but at least it's doing the right sort of thing. It's close distance as well, so there's no stress there. Man, I was a very skinny guy back then. I've lost weight like now, but I kind of went through a few phases there. Anything else? That's it really. There's some piano videos. I mean, this is my my first video with the 2012. You've seen this on YouTube. Like I've done videos of this. I mean, 2011 was my first tutorial on YouTube. Jeez. Oh my goodness! And this is the win. So I bought my win like at this point. So this is my second bow. But look at that form. That is I would say deplorable. I'm using ACEs. Yeah, that head movement. Yeah, like you would not see that in an archer today.
Everything else looks pretty good. But yeah, that head movement's way too excessive. A little stiff in the release there. This is John. He bought the coach's compound and then sold it back. He left archery as well. We still keep in touch, but he left archery. My goodness. Yeah. Oh, look at that sparkle. Oh, that's pretty. The shot's pretty crap, but that's a really pretty sparkle. Yeah, that's a win and win. There you go. And I think afterwards, I did like one more video, but I stopped doing Facebook videos. This is my personal Facebook page. Afterwards, I did YouTube. So yeah, that's basically it. So there's other stuff here. We might, we're gonna watch something, sure, but man, I don't play piano anymore. But that's the first bow. What do you think, guys? Man, that's fun. Who's spamming my stuff here? My room is Chernobyl. Eh. So I'm just catching my chat right now. Sorry, Raphael, the win-win arrow puller, the cat one. I actually didn't like it. It's a cute present, I'll tell you that. But I don't like the win-win arrow puller. The reason is it's too small. You really want a longer one, which fits in your hand and you can grasp onto it better. So the win-win puller actually isn't very good. I stopped using it a long time ago. Yeah, like, as Carson just mentioned before, the thing is just kind of strange coming out the front. Yeah, like it's not the way you meant to shoot. But again, this is in my my first month of using the bow and learning everything from scratch. Why did I stop piano? I actually never learnt piano. I'm self-taught. Yeah, it was mostly time. Spending more time on YouTube, more time on archery. Piano was something I did when I was more depressed, like going through depression. And I would learn to play stuff. I mean, I haven't played it for. I mean, I went on and off for years, and for the last 2 years, I haven't touched the piano at all. So I've still got it here. Maybe one day I'll do a live stream, but yeah, I mean, if I want to watch a video, sure. I'm not gonna come back to it anyway, so I might as well have a quick look, right? So, what did I play here? This was, I think, River Flows in You. Watch the content ID match now. You can see I'm pretty much a noob in that part. You can see my tempo's off. Yeah, wow. Messed that one up. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Tempo messed up a few times there, and this is without any training, so I never learned piano, um, and yeah, I was still self taught. Um, Wow, yeah, that's quite a while ago. I can't play that anymore. This is one of the first songs I learned too, so pretty hard choice, but it's quite repetitive too. Not the hardest thing. I mean, every Asian plays River Flows in You. We're born with the ability to do so. So there we go. To my rendition, not particularly great. You can see that there's no metronomes, the tempo's off, and you know if I did piano again, I'd do it much more seriously with better timing. But that was River Flows in You. So I've got like the end theme. Oh, it's Comp Team from Jan Tiersen. Yeah, I was pretty bad at this. Now let's do it again. Not bad, NUSensei. I think this is on my YouTube channel. No mistake there. It's not bad. Couple of questions in the chat there. Wayne from Bahamas, welcome back. I'm still waiting for your T-shirt, by the way. Yes, your recurve poundage will affect distance. Higher poundage means higher velocity, which also means longer distance. You don't need a high poundage for long distance. A 30-pound bow with carbon arrows can shoot 70 meters just fine. That's not bad. And like I said, there's already better players out there. I'm not a professional pianist by any means. Like I said, self-taught, never took a lesson. That was pretty fun. That was the Lord of the Rings, wasn't it? All right, it is. This is blocked on YouTube. Remember, this is back when Lord of the Rings was the thing. Yeah, I'll stop that there. It wasn't very good. That wasn't that is on YouTube as well. I think most of my piano covers are still on YouTube. I think I have a playlist where I have that. Hang on, let's go through our playlist. I'll be doing some live streams with different things later on, because I want to cover all the things I've done on YouTube, on my YouTube journey to celebrate the 100,000 milestone. Once we get there, of course, but I'm pretty sure we have a playlist of piano covers. So I love you don't know this, because I imagine not all of you go through my past videos, but I'm pretty sure I've got all these Let's Plays and War Thunder videos. I do have a piano. No, wait, it has to be a new piano, right? Yep, new piano. Yeah, I do have a playlist that's popularly on YouTube. So if you want to check out my covers there, then they're still on YouTube. But yeah, I haven't really done anything since. That's something else I want to talk about a different time. But I reckon we'll start wrapping it up. We'll take last comments and queries and questions. That was, of course, the unboxing and the shooting of my very first bow. So that was history in the making. Send me an email, Kawane. Send me an email to this address. I'll type it out for you. So that way I can whoops, there's a .com there, you know what I'm talking about, right? Send me an email here. That's my email for business inquiries. Get in touch with me and I'll grab the shirt off you. But yeah, I can't contact you with anything else at the moment, but send me an email, please. So that way you can do that. Let's see what else here. Space Jockey, a mix between Elton John and Robin Hood. I'm kind of Asian. I play like Robin Hood and shoot like Elton John. That's a good one, Space. Well done. All right, what are we talking about? Nikolai, yes, I watch Metatron a lot. I've been binge watching Metatron. I've been catching up on his videos for the last couple of days. I'm doing some more archery pop shot stuff, but I've caught up on a lot of Metatron. He's amazing as a person. Absolutely amazing. Very highly educated. You know, speaks 7 different languages. Definitely a model academic. Sorry, definitely a model academic. Making great content out there on YouTube. So definitely very, very good person. If you don't watch Metatron, you definitely should, by the way. Definitely one of the people I respect a lot on YouTube for the history side. Very rare to find someone who specializes in numerous fields, because you normally have like, you know, a Japanese specialist or Roman history specialist, but he knows everything. So it was actually really nice to watch. Have I ever eaten kangaroo? Yes. We proudly eat our national animal. Kangaroo is nice. It's quite lean and tough. It's kind of like beef, but much tougher, because kangaroos jump around a lot. Cows just stand around and chew grass. Kangaroos are a lot more active, so their meat is a bit more tender, or a bit tougher, but otherwise it's pretty good. Okay, we'll do before I end this in about 5 minutes. So any last comments? Throw it this way. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed that. That's I don't think some of you might have seen the Samick Aguilar, or the Rise at least, on my very early YouTube videos, but you probably haven't seen me shoot it, so that's kind of rare footage. I don't have the raw files in, but I always download it from YouTube and put it back on my channel. You know, this React video, you know, might be there. Yeah, I might put the videos up separately some other time, but no, there you go. That's the original NUSensei. Before I was NUSensei, this is NUSensei. That's what you get. So man, how far I've gone since then. Exercises for what, posture and form. Honestly, there's no exercise. It's mostly doing it right? So form is about practice and getting it right. And you have a coach to, like, you know, smack you, then even better. But like, there's no real exercise to get your posture right. You have to know what you're doing rather than using exercise to get in the right position. So SPTs are a great place to start, but if you don't know how to do it properly, then you're probably not going to benefit from exercises. So my advice for you, Siberia, is to look at archery form, and try to replicate it yourself. There's no exercise which teaches posture. Posture is something which you need to do by yourself. It's kind of like, imagine like your sitting posture, right? So if you have bad posture, fix it. Like there's no, if I'm slouching, if I'm like leaning back here, putting pressure on my lower back, for example, there's no exercise to get me to sit up straight. I just have to sit up straight and do it right. So I'm not sure that's what you're looking for. There's no shortcut to specifically train posture. Posture is improved by analysis. So you do your shooting, do a video form check. So film yourself shooting, and you can see yourself change and improve and be different. So there's no easy way to do shortcuts like that. Archery's bigger. Boomerang throwing isn't even a sport. Oh, it is. It's not a sport. It's not really done. Boomerang throwing isn't what you think it is. Because boomerang throwing, the ones which come back to you, are they're different designs. They're the more performance design rather than a hunting design. Boomerang throwing is a very niche pastime. Let's put it that way. So you won't really see competitive boomerang throwing. So it's a bit of a stereotype. It's not really a big thing. Even Australians don't do it. Keeping in mind that it's an Aboriginal tool, so it's a native thing which they would have done, but it's not what you think it is. Let's put it that way. But it is fascinating. We used to throw boomerangs when I was in the Boy Scouts. But again, it's not what you think it is. The boomerangs which are made for returning aren't the same as the ones used for hunting. I mean, the hunting one's like throwing a big stick, a spinning stick which has a lot of a surprising amount of force when it hits something. All right, I reckon we'll end it there. Thanks you all for joining me. I'll be doing a few more of these in the next few days or weeks. Again, this is meant to be a series to celebrate the 100,000 subscriber milestone. We'll get there next month or so, but this is looking back at the stuff that I started doing before YouTube and my early YouTube videos. I've done a lot of things in YouTube, including piano, surprisingly. And I'll also be working on a specialized video, a more focused one, looking at advice which I've learned from my time on YouTube. Doing the first 100,000 subscribers and everything since then. So if you're interested in doing a YouTube video, then I'll be giving you some advice there. But otherwise, we'll be doing a few more of these. So hopefully you can stay tuned. I might announce this a bit more later on. It's going to be a warm week this week, so I might be doing some live streaming rather than filming because it is really warm here. Otherwise, thank you all for joining me. It's been a pleasure, of course, and hopefully your archery journey is going better than what mine was started with. But you all start from somewhere, and hopefully you keep on going with your journey. And until then, I'll see you all next time.